Welcome back, enchanters, to another unveiling, unboxing, and review of the highly sought after deluxe X-Men vs. Sentinel Apocalypse 1/10 scale. I've waited a full year for this, and there's actually some pieces that were revealed before this that we still haven't gotten, and I'm surprised this one did come out early. I'm really surprised with how early the release of this was compared to some of the other ones we're still waiting on, but I'm so excited. Now, before I start this unboxing and this review, you can check my channel out. I have reviewed every single Iron Studios 1/10 piece. As you can see in the back, I've already reviewed all of them, so if you're curious to know what I rank these at, I always give them a ranking 1 out of 10. My honest opinion, feel free to go to my video history and watch this. Most importantly, let's stay connected. If you're finding me right now due to the YouTube algorithm and you want to stay connected, don't go anywhere. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, join our enchanters and our collectors community here at Enchanting Unboxing, and most importantly, tap that bell to get notified every time I upload content every Mondays and sometimes Thursdays. So without further ado, let's dive into this bad boy. Now, price-wise, this piece was, I believe it's $350 is the MSRP price on this. After taxes and shipping, you're looking at close to about $425 for this piece. So it's a pretty penny. And of all the boxes we've gotten so far, this is by far the largest. Mojo was the biggest, and by far this deluxe Apocalypse piece is the largest. Really impressed with the size. Again, I haven't opened it. I have seen some reviews already, some from our fellow collectors in there's a Facebook group called X-Men Iron Studios It's a collector group. I'll add it in the description of this video, so if you are a collector and you're curious to see how other collectors are exhibiting this piece, displaying it, you can join the community chat. It's a great community. Or if you're looking for retired pieces from this series, there's a lot of sellers who resell as well. So it's overall been a great community. So yeah, so here we have it now. A little bit about this piece while I open it and you're hearing it for the first time. If you're new, you've never heard of Iron Studios before, they're known for their 1/10 scale pieces. They are, in my experience, the best studio when it comes to creating intricacy and impeccable work with a 1/10 scale figure, which is almost nearly all the time, 95% of the time. It's really sloppy work. It's small pieces, so you don't have detailed paint work on many of the pieces. And Iron Studios happens to they do for the most part an impeccable job with their portraits, being so small, covering so much detail with incredible, I wouldn't say mixed media, but with incredible sculpts. And so much features, and you're going to see with this piece because I've seen the reviews so far and they look amazing. So I did order this from Iron Studios. You can't order it from Sideshow. And fun fact, usually Sideshow, I prefer purchasing from Sideshow. Though all my Iron Studios pieces, I did order them in advance before I made the switch over to Sideshow. I did order them on Iron Studios. The rewards program is pretty much the same, except you're only limited. You can only use a certain amount of points towards a certain purchase at a time. I think you can't get more than like $100 off a piece or $200 off a piece, where with Sideshow Collectibles, you're not limited to that. So Sideshow Collectibles does have a better rewards program, and Sideshow Collectibles obviously sells more than just Iron Studios, so I would recommend Sideshow being your #1 way to go to when it comes to pre-ordering any of these pieces. As I'm going back and forth because I can't take this out. So if you were curious, that's where I ordered it, Iron Studios, but I would recommend Sideshow. And fun fact, typically Sideshow ships out way before Iron Studios, sometimes a month. I've seen up to 2 months before. Surprisingly, Iron Studios and Sideshow shipped out at the same time. So maybe Iron Studios is picking up on some feedback. So that's really exciting to hear, to be honest with you, and to experience. So I know a lot of collectors are getting theirs this week, and this just shipped out the week of December the 15th, 2022. And of course this isn't coming out. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. We're gonna open it from the bottom as well. Now, with Iron Studios, it shipped in, it comes in this protective case, and there's the unicorn within. My experience as to why these things have become so difficult to come out is they bubble wrap the insert from inside the unicorn, which is so annoying. The art box, sorry, not the unicorn. So yeah. If you watch my previous video with Mojo, that filming of that video, well, it wasn't my previous Havoc and Warpath in my previous, but that video was a complete nightmare to film. And this is the problem. They're putting in this bubble wrap here, and it's creating way too much tension and not allowing the piece to actually come out. Let's see if we can probably get it out this way. What I noticed is you have to yank this out. I'm sorry. This is the absolute worst. I was hoping for a smooth transition of opening this. There we go. We got one side out. I think that should do the trick. I'm going to dispose of this anyway, and yes, as I was right. I don't keep that box. And here you have it. Oh, so sexy. So first off, let's experience the box itself. 1 second here. How freaking amazing is that? So here you have a zoomed in version of the piece itself. So as you can see, you have Apocalypse. And as you come to the side, it says Worlds Collect. And in the back, you have a zoomed out version of what it's going to look like, the 1/10th fully zoomed out piece. Just say Apocalypse on the side. The cover is like this gray, it's like a gray color, and then it says Apocalypse there on the top as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now there are two versions to this. There is the original, which is $250, and there's a deluxe, which was $350. So for $100 more, you get, I believe, an additional face sculpt, and you get an arm switch out, and you also get what is a portion of Sentinel that's added to the base. So you do get significantly a lot more. And if you are a collector and you're looking to, if you're a collector with the hopes of maybe in the future reselling one day, deluxe is always your way to go when it comes to Iron Studios, and in general, you always want to go like a premium format or deluxe piece when it comes to a collectible. That's if they make two variations. You always want to go with the more expensive one because it's the more collectible one, and there's lesser quantities typically produced in that one. Now with Iron Studios, there are no edition sizes, so there's no way to know how much you got. But the way Iron Studios navigates their business, which is very different than most other collector studios, is for what is about an average of 6 months to 8 months prior to a piece beginning its starting its manufacturing process. They take pre-orders. So based on how many pre-orders they get, and how many pre-orders all of their how many orders they've received and then pre-orders from all their retailers. That's where they get an estimate of how many they're going to produce. And then from there, they make like an extra additional few, of course, if any pieces come damaged. And in general, because you'll always have people who will order them when they release, right? Or months after they release. Now, Iron Studios really just wants to move their pieces as soon as possible, and they want to get rid of them. They don't want to hold on to stock whatsoever, so it's almost like a made-to-order situation. But they'll always have leftover stock, and they make in excess. They typically make in excess additional pieces, not just whatever they had on pre-order, right? So, and again, there's always that risk that someone's going to pre-order and they're going to cancel. So here we have the styrofoam. It's one box, obviously. You're always going to want to open this side up. The side that says Iron Studios is this side up. I believe there's 7 pieces to this. So let's dive into this bad boy. I do have, what I'm going to link at the very end of this video, is the full tour of what my collection looks like thus far. If you're curious to see what the background looks like and how I've displayed it, it's not the ideal display. I dive more into that in that video. I'm going to add that video at the very end of this. At the very end of this video, you'll be able to click on the screen and it'll take you right to it. And this is the last time I'm going to need this box cutter. Alright, fingers crossed for no breakagers. well, the head was all over the place. Good, no damages. Yay. Alright. So I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the pieces. So there's going to be 2 head sculpts. We're going to zoom in on those pieces in a moment. Well, actually, you could do that right now. So, oh, wow, that's awesome. Okay, so typically I'm not a fan of various head sculpts. We've gotten them with Wolverine. No, was Wolverine? Professor Xavier and Magneto. But this one I have to say is pretty kick-ass. So the first one we have, which is the one I thought I was going to keep, but now I'm questioning it. So as you zoom in on those details, we have, he's just grinning with his teeth. So you, this was I believe this is the piece that you get, the head sculpt. And again, I could be 100% wrong, but I do believe that this is the only head sculpt that comes in the original version. And again, I could be 100% wrong with that. And then the deluxe is going to come with a second head sculpt. And again, I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. And the deluxe one, he has his mouth open. Oh my God. The detail of his teeth. I mean, they just the enamel they use. Look at that. So this is one with him grunting with his mouth wide open. I believe this is the exclusive one that comes with the deluxe. Again, I could be wrong. So please correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. If I am wrong, but this looks amazing, amazing, amazing. So I'm typically not a fan of multiple head sculpts because it's like, nah, you don't really ever find yourself switching out your portraits. And then like usually all these additional pieces, collectors typically will keep in the box and it goes back into storage or your attic, etc. So yeah, now I do keep my additional portraits and pieces in a drawer, a suede drawer where they're protected, just in case I'm, wanting to switch it up, but I'm typically not a fan of them. Ooh, so you're gonna get his hand here. Okay. So you're gonna get this piece right here, which is his hand. Let's take out the base first. Okay, it has some weight to it. Again, so far so good, no breakagers. I am really excited. Right. So, wow, this looks amazing. So this is the base. It looks incredible. So, by the way, if you were curious, that's the bottom of it. It just says Apocalypse Iron Studios. Again, there's no addition size to this base. What you have here, what seems to be the thigh and the joint, like the knee of a Sentinel, it's been severed. It looks great. And then there's just like this, this is a scene that takes place outside in the courtyard of the Xavier mansion. It's pretty awesome. Now this piece is going to come with some additional pieces which are part of the deluxe figure. We'll dive into that in a moment. There is also an arm switch out. So this is Apocalypse's cannon. Right. And then here, what do we have here? All right, so this I believe is the exclusive as well. So this is the other joint I believe of this leg right here, and this is what's the upper portion of the leg. And as you can see, you have this cable. These cable details look amazing. Wow. I'm going to have y'all zoom in on that in a moment when we do the final review, but this looks amazing. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to go right there. Perfect. And I believe this is the exclusive. And again, I could be wrong. I did not do my research prior to determining what the deluxe and what the other one does. And I'm probably going to go off camera and go see that so I can confirm with y'all versus doing it now. I'll be right back. And I didn't want to get that confirmation for y'all, and I am correct. This is an exclusive. This is not this is exclusive to the deluxe only. So you're not going to get this with the original. Following that, we have this additional piece, which is also an exclusive. So this is a switch out hand. So if you order the original, not the deluxe, you're just going to get this. You're going to get this piece separately instead of this cannon. You're just going to get this piece right here. But in the exclusive, the piece comes embedded with the other portion of the Sentinel's, what seems to be the Sentinel's leg, which again, we're going to build that in a moment. You're going to see all the details of that in a moment. Most importantly, let's take out this bad boy. And this is the piece. This is the frame and body of Apocalypse. By the way, I'm so excited. They just announced that they'll be doing a Mr. Sinister, and like everyone went crazy. We're so excited we're getting that piece. All right, so I think that is gonna wrap this up. Yay. So let's go ahead and key in Apocalypse. And he looks like he's gonna go there. He's gonna key in at some point. Be gentle here. It didn't sound too great, but really had to force it in there. It seems as if it wasn't a perfect keyhole, but nevertheless it went in. So we're gonna peg his hand. All right, and then you have two options here. Let's go with the grinning face first. There we go, perfect fit. They're magnetized, that is, so it's absolutely perfect. And the last thing we're gonna do is he has two switch outs. So this is the exclusive, and this is gonna peg. Which way are you gonna peg? I think you're gonna peg this way. Now this is a peg, surprisingly. It's not magnetized, which is a little odd. So there's two options to it. You can use this way. Now again, this cannon is exclusive only to the deluxe. So as you zoom in on those details, it looks pretty badass, pretty awesome. Looks amazing, actually. Now I'm already noticing some things that I don't like with this piece, but we'll dive into that in a moment. And I think the piece that I like more, simply because it marries with this so beautifully, is this piece right here, where he has the drill. Wow, this piece is colossal. It's absolutely massive. Wow. Before we do a review and zoom in fully, I just want to observe something really quick before I really give my honest review, and there's something I'm noticing that I'm very disappointed with, so I'm definitely going to dive into that. Wow, this piece is incredible. And again, that's him with this portrait instead. I like the one with him grinning more, but leave that on. All right, so what are my thoughts? So let's zoom in on the details. So what are my thoughts on this piece? I have to say the concept is just absolutely brilliant. It's gorgeous. I love that he's shredding through the Sentinel. It looks magnificent. The detailing right here, as you could tell the drill just drilled right through this and it yanked it out, which is amazing. Now this piece is supposed to go connected here. Is that? Yeah, okay, sorry. So this piece is supposed to be connected here, which is, okay, it just moves out of the way. It is malleable. Oh, that's really awesome. So he does have this. Wow, okay, so it's like this mixed media metal that's malleable. Oh, that's pretty kick-ass. Okay, I'm digging that. That looks amazing. I did not know that. So I love this motion here of like, again, you're noticing it's like a still in motion where he's yanking it out. You see the piece here, like as gravity is lifting it, and then the drill coming up here. I think that's incredible. I'm beyond impressed. The head sculpt looks amazing. Now, the coloring of him, I mean, it's just ideal. It's that modern X-Men the Animated Series, Jim Lee concept, but more modern, right? So it just looks incredible. Wow, I'm beyond impressed. With the shading of him, the concept. Now the base. I have to say, I really love the base. The base I find to be incredibly detailed. Could it be a little better? Absolutely, but I think it's great for what it is. I am noticing that there's just one seam here that I'm not too happy with. So right here where this column is, there is this quite a seam there that just doesn't look the best, but overall the base it's good, it's okay. His pose looks incredible. Look at those details. It looks amazing, the pose. I absolutely love his musculature. I love the positioning of his body. The A on his utility belt, his apocalypse looks amazing. But this is my biggest setback with this piece. It's the paint job. The paint job is absolutely horrid on this piece. It's terrible. So there are moments where it looks like he's been in combat and he's a little beaten up. So where you see this blue, this metallic blue paint, there's like silver scuffing, and the silver scuffing is just so visibly painted poorly with like a really thick brush, and it's just slabbed. So like, look right here how disgusting and poor that looks. It looks awful. It doesn't look weathered at all. Notice it right here as well. None of this looks, as you zoom in on the details, none of this looks weathered. It's like they got silver paint and they just slabbed it everywhere. They did it here on the Sentinel as well, on this gash. And again, here we are consistently doing this like ridiculous Wolverine like claw. Like, it's as if like Wolverine like literally just busted all over this entire diorama, and they are incorporating this like hidden Easter egg of Wolverine's claws everywhere. It's on every piece, on every base. It's just overkill. It's annoying. So I'm really, really, really just so disappointed with that. As much as I'm disappointed at the fact that we're getting a Logan piece, we already have Wolverine here. Why do we need a Logan piece on a Dio, which is already annoying? The fact that we're getting that, and then we have these Easter eggs, it's overkill. Iron Studios, please stop doing it. It's annoying. And then again, it's just awful. Look at the back, especially here. You're gonna notice it the most. It's so pronounced here, but right here on his shoulder pads, you notice that silver slab just painted so poorly. It's absolutely terrible, terrible, terrible. Now, as for like the wires, everything else, the paint job everywhere else, I love it. It's just whoever thought like, hey, let's get this silver paint and just slab it everywhere. Come on, man. Just poorly, poorly executed. And then the one last thing I want to mention is there's a bleed on this portrait. On the very back of this portrait, there's just this random dark gray bleed that has no business being there. And again, thankfully, I like the grinning portrait so much more so. That one, there's no issue with that. Now, there is the mixed media with this as well. This is made of like, it's like a metal malleable, I don't want to say it's a wire. It's almost like a spring, but it's amazing and it's malleable. So be very gentle with it because it's connected on these loops. So you want to be very careful. Like right there, I'm noticing some tension. So just be very, very careful with that. As for like this one was off already, but I was able to do this and put it right back in. So you do want to be mindful of that. But I love this piece. I think it's amazing. I want to be completely honest with you. Overall, due to like the base, the paint job, I can't give this piece more than an 8. There's no way I can give this piece a higher rating than an 8. I think the concept is gorgeous. The execution, there was issues with putting him in the base. There's this thing again here, which I don't know if it's damaged or if it comes out, but look how that's coming out so easily, where it's been poorly packaged in that retrospect. I'm gonna see if I could put it in, which is very disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. There's the bleeding of the back of the head, and the silver paint job just destroys this piece completely. I'm gonna give this piece a solid 7.5. It's not my favorite. By no means is this piece my favorite. It's a gorgeous piece. You're not going to notice the details as I'm noticing it. And now that this is like the 30th piece to the collection I'm adding, I have more of an eye, right, for what I'm expecting and what a standard is for this Dio. Again, it's an incredible piece, but you're looking at, this is setting you back $450. That's a PlayStation 5. And that's now something I'm trying to like. I'm trying to really just grasp. For a 1/10 scale, $450 is very steep. And the paint job just doesn't cut it. So you know what? I'm giving this piece a 6 out of 10. This is probably the worst rating I've ever given a piece, because the more I'm actually conceptualizing and grounding myself with like what I paid for, I'm really disappointed. And again, this keeps coming out, so hopefully I can come with a solution with that. So I'm gonna give this piece a 6 out of 10. I have to say it's the most disappointing piece in the collection thus far, based on price and execution. That's really what if I'm paying $450 for something, I'm expecting something. I got it. I got what I expected when it came to the concept. I think that the overall execution was done a little sloppy for what you're paying for, right? And I think my issue is more so quality control issue. And that paint job is unexcusable. I know everyone's has to look just like mine, so it's incredibly unexcusable. It was half-assed. So with that being said, that is the review of the Apocalypse Deluxe 1/10 scale. Curious what your thoughts are. Do you agree with me? Do you not? If you own this piece, I'd love to know how yours arrived. And if you agree regarding that paint job, is this a piece I need to return because just mine was just absolute crap? Please let me know. I've never returned a piece from Iron Studios, so it's not something I want to do, but I am disappointed. Nevertheless. So thank you all so much. Don't forget to hit that smash button below. Subscribe. Be a part of our community. Go check my honest reviews of all of the other pieces. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to give my honest review of what I think of all these pieces. And I own every single piece in the series. So if you are curious, I have individual videos for every single one. So go check them out on my channel. It means the world. Stay connected. Have an amazing and incredible day. And until the next one, enchanters, keep collecting.